My name is Rachel Barnes. I first met MK 20 some odd years ago. My family had a flea market in the Seagoville, Kleberg area of Dallas, and yeah, that's where we met. He had his music out there, and I started listening to it back then, and I had a connection, but I was shy. I didn't really, say anything. So he would keep coming, and people would be snitching on him, thinking that I didn't know he was there. And I was like, okay, but we knew, But it grew from there. Kept listening to his music. There's a lot of songs that I resonate with that deal in spirituality because I'm an energy worker, and I know, as he knows, so many things are going on in the world behind the scenes, universe and politics, spirituality, and so much more that he knows, and he speaks it through his music, and that kind of resonated with me more also. And then growing up with hard times, you can never judge a book by its cover. Everybody has a story. I have my story, he has his story, and I found some connection with that also. So that's kind of what drew me to him. We lost contact for a few years. My business, I ended up changing business, and then we got in contact again through a circle of friends in the movie industry and music industry, and started talking about new projects. He included me in some of his projects, which I was really honored to be a part of. I like the way he speaks his truth. I have mad love and respect for MK for what he stands for, and the fact that he's not afraid to say the truth at any cost. It's hard to find that. Everybody wants to say what the government wants them to say, or what politicians want them to say, or what different groups want them to say. But no, he's about saying the truth, what it really is, and what it's going to be, and how it should be. And he does say things to unite everybody. He includes everybody that has respect, gives respect to him, and respects themselves. He's not a sellout. And that's one thing that has kind of kept me connected to him through the years, is when I caught back up with him, and I see, man, he's still doing his thing. He's still standing strong, and he's not bothered by the naysayers. He just does his thing, and I have mad love and respect for that.
I remember. I'm gonna go back to what you said, because this is crazy. We met like 20 years ago, or maybe 22 years ago,
Mm-hmm.
and at your family's flea market. And I remember, how can I'm trying to put it into words, that we would talk a little bit, and then we lost, like you said, we lost touch a little bit. And it's crazy how we ended up in the same circle.
Mm-hmm.
When I was starting to do movies, when I started making movies, they ended up telling me Rachel Barnes. Rachel Barnes? I ended up talking to Duran. I go, you know Rachel Barnes? She goes, yeah, man, she's cool.
Mm-hmm.
Rachel Barnes, and I heard Rachel Barnes again through Pablo Esparza. And it's crazy how we ended up in the same place, the same people. And I believe that's destiny. I believe too.
That's how the universe works.
That's how the universe works. Like, there's certain people that even we could say even that we probably known each other in past lives,
Mm-hmm.
or that we find each other again, as friends, or it ends up like that, because the universe is so big, man, that we're not the only ones, in this planet, or there's other planets. I believe in so much stuff, and but that's what that was crazy, that we were at the same. Okay, so we're at this location, and then 10 years later, we're up here again, and we're in the same level. You know what I'm saying? Even in the way of thinking, and learning, and wanting to learn about spirituality, and and just students of
different religions,
and just different stuff, and we're working with the same people, in the music, and in the film industry, and but I just want to say, she's always supported me. She's gone to the film festivals. She supported a lot of people in Dallas. She's a strong woman. She's a great example. She's a CEO. And she lives in lives and leads by example. You know what I'm saying? You when I see strong people, I'm attracted to strong people, man. My circle is warriors of light, bro. We're here to illuminate the darkness. You know what I'm saying? And there's always gonna be, entities or bad energies trying to stop goodness or messages to getting across, man. And but once the light workers get to work, they get to work, man. The message is gonna be out. You know what I'm saying? So it's cool, man. It's still, we're still, 20 years later, still talking, and real cool, man. I respect her too, also, and I have a lot of mad love for her, What did you think? What do you think about the shows when we do the shows?
Oh, I loved it. The electricity, the atmosphere, the aura, the energy that you put out was awesome. I went to the Curtain Club with Solid Hate and you, and it was awesome. I can't wait for the new stuff. So,
do you wanna promote like your business or?
Well, I do energy work. A lot of people don't know what that is. You work with your chakras, and I can have you feeling like you've had a massage and I haven't even touched you. So that's what my calling is here in life. If I can make one person feel good, I can't say that I can heal you, but I've seen people get well, So is it me? No, it's not. It's a higher power. I'm just the conduit that shares the energy. But it's Ray of Light Wellness, Dallas, on Instagram.
So if you're looking for energy work, or
you can turn my electricity back on.
Well, that's a different thing.
she's like, I could help you with some money, right? But if there's more than this, there's more than you better. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, all I can say, if you're not following MK, you're not listening, then you're behind. You're way behind on your level. Is that how you want to say it?
Yeah.
Your energy level.
What do you think about the song "Let Me Guide You"? Like,
that's one of my favorites, actually. That and Saint Michael.
Saint Michael.
Yeah, because when you call all the people together, and they hear the light workers, people who are actually light workers, or maybe that just triggered them because they had it from a past life, and they're like, "Oh, that sounds familiar. I wonder what that is," and then it draws them more into it. So, yeah. So that's.
What's your talking about spirituality and all the light workers? What's your advice on people trying to better their lives? What's a good? Do you have any great advice? So people that are looking for help and they feel like they can't, they feel like everything's coming to an end. What do you?
The first thing I can say is to take time out and breathe. Breathe and be quiet. If you're quiet and you sit, you don't even have to close your eyes and meditation. That's not it. You can meditate by walking, by sitting. There's so many things that you can do. Whatever brings peace to you, that can be meditation. Relax, listen. You're going to get messages and find the guidance that you need for your next step in life. But you have to tune out all the chaos. If you can do that, everything just falls into place after that. Sometimes, you can call me. I'll help you. Seriously. I teach meditation too. It's not that you have to sit with your legs crossed and your hands in a certain way. That's false. You can connect in so many ways. So.
And I like what you're saying, because a lot of people don't know, because I don't, like me personally, like I talk about it to, and it attracts the people that know about it. But I believe in a higher, just a higher, like in spirituality. I believe in spirituality, and I am a very spiritual person. Like you said, I'm a spiritual gangster. You're a spiritual gangster.
Yeah.
And it helps me a lot with writing and meditating, and it helps a lot, like releasing negative energies from your body. And when you do that, man, and you're working, or let's say you write a song, man, it helps you better to communicate with to be a better connection towards people, and and not block yourself from doing what you're supposed to be doing. You know, it helps you not it helps your energy go up. Like instead of when your energy's down, you know how to protect yourself and become a better person.
You know, meditation, self-talk, big deal. How you talk to yourself, how you think about yourself. Who cares what anybody else thinks? That's not important. What they think about you is none of your business. That's their problem.
That's
It's
right.
all what you think about yourself. You start thinking positive every day
Positive
for
things
21 days, so much good stuff is going to happen to you. You're going to be like, damn, why didn't I do this a long time ago?
Okay, what's your name? Where are you from?
My name's Jorge Alberto Ruiz, and I'm from Oak Cliff, born and raised in Oak Cliff, and my parents are from Mexico. I'm first generation Mexican. My parents are from, dad's from Guadalajara and my mom's from Zacatecas, from Jalisco, yeah, Jalisco and Zacatecas.
So
So
you were
no.
born here in Oak Cliff between the 80s and 90s?
I was born in,
Grew up here?
yeah, yes. I was raised in the 90s when it was crazy out on the streets. The gangster shit came in, you know, 91, 92, 93. You know, it was Oak Cliff was totally different at that time. Like I couldn't walk I couldn't walk down the street like to another neighborhood because there was a whole bunch of gangs. So everybody was in different. It was just crazy, man, at that time.
A lot of people don't know this, but in the late 80s, early 90s, Oak Cliff was technically considered the city with the most homicides.
Yeah, no, I wanted to tell. I think it was at first it was California, then Chicago, and then in the 90s it went to Dallas. That they were it was crazy, man. I lost a lot of friends. I think half of my friends, I want to say maybe like 14 friends to gang violence.
Wow.
To gang violence, yeah. Yep.
So is that when you were in that life, did you always have a passion for music when you were living in that life, or was that kind of?
No, it started when I was 12 and 13 in school, and I used to write poems. And when the rapping came in, I was probably like I was in third grade. I remember the people that inspired me were the Beastie Boys. Because when the Beastie Boys came out, they had Brass Monkey, and they had a Paul Revere, and I was a little kid. I was just like, I don't know, I was like 8. I was 8, and I had an uncle, and his name was Juan, and he had a Bronco, and he put a system, and he used to jam Too Short, Life's Too Short. And I would tell him, he would go, where you going, Uncle? I was probably like 7 or 8. I'm gonna go cruise around Oak Cliff. I'm gonna cruise around Sunset. They used to back in the day. They used to cruise around Sunset, you know. And I want to go, you know. I want to go. And I would tell him, take me. And finally, he took me, and we were driving around, and I heard the Beastie Boys, Brass Monkey, you know. And I told my uncle, I'm gonna do that. You're gonna do what? I'm gonna do that. He goes, you don't even know what it's called. What is it called? It's rap. I'm gonna do that. You know, when I heard the Beastie Boys, I was like, man, it just, you know, in my head. And at that time, we were going to James Bowie on 8th Street. And then from there, a couple of years later, you know, I just would write. You know, the teacher, what are you doing? I'm writing poetry. You're supposed to be doing your work. And I didn't know what I was doing until I think 8th grade. A teacher goes, I'm gonna show you. What are you doing? I go, I'm writing a poem. Well, you want to know how to format a song or how to grab idea? I go, yeah. And she taught me like to put the subject of it and to draw a circle, and then from there describe different things. So I started you know, getting my verses from different details of what I was describing. So that made it a lot easier for me. And so I started, and I wanted to rap, but there's nobody around. And at that time, you know, it was just crazy on the street, and there was nobody around. You know, at that time it was like Ghetto Boys, and you know, my mind's playing tricks on me. And then Cypress Hill came in, and you know, and then it was just hot in the streets and stuff like that. So, you know, I got into trouble. You know, I got into trouble hanging around with my friends, and being from Oak Cliff. I think Oak Cliff was one of the most cities where you had AV boys. It was BZ Boys, Human, Vagos, Midnight. It was crazy, man. I mean, I remember going to Malone's, and it was a store to Malone's when I was young. Me and my brother with my mom, and there was the gangs would harass the other guys with their moms. They would harass them. You know, they would throw up gang signs and with their abuelita being there and their mom being there, and they would jump people with their grandma and their abuelita being there. That's how bad it was. That me and my brother were 15 and 16 and we had to get off and you know, throw chingazos, man. Go fight. You had to fight. In those times you had to fight, even though if you don't want to fight, they would get you to fight. Or if you were in school, you know, at that time they're like, hey man, we're from so and so. What you claim? Where you from? I go, nah man, we're not. Whoa, boom 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 boom. They would jump you. You're with us now. Hold on, man. You didn't give me no choice, man. Hold up. There's so many to pick from. How y'all know y'all the most craziest ones? No, I was playing. But you know, it was that crazy back in the day that, you know, I got into a lot of trouble. I had at that time I had no choice. I had no choice I was packing, you know, guns and, you know, started living. It was just a crazy life at that time, man. And got locked up. I got locked up. You know, I thought I was gonna do. I got locked up at 19, and they gave me a strong case, and they were gonna give me life, and you know, I felt like my whole world just boom. The music thing that I liked, I don't know why I always kept it in the back of my head. But you know, when I thought I was gonna get locked up, I was fighting the case for 2 years, and my mom, she's the one that helped me out through the case, because one of my uncles and my aunt, talking about Jefferson, you already know one of my aunts had a salon next door to Top 10, right? A barbershop, and one of my other aunts had it down the street, like a block down in Jefferson, and they had it for years, the barbershop. So for me to post bond, my aunt gave up her salon. She put up her salon, and my dad's brother put up his house, and my dad put up his house so I can get off on bond. And one of my uncles is like, if you don't think you're gonna make it, just go to Mexico. We're willing to lose our house. Just take off. And I was like, you know, I didn't want to be a coward, so you know, I was like, man, I'm gonna get locked up. So I fought it for 2 years, and when I went to court, you know, I thought the lawyer told me stay outside, and he goes, if I come back outside, I'm gonna tell you something, you know, I'm gonna give you a sign, because he was like, man, I'm not supposed to do this, but take off. Try to take off. I said, nah, I can't take off, you know, but if the cops come and get you, you know, something, you know, whatever. So when he went inside, it was the last court date. He went inside. And then he came back, and he was gonna read to me, and I saw the cops. I was like, "Fuck!" And I was 19. I remember I was fucking 19, you know, and I was like, and then he read the thing, and he said, Jorge Alberto Ruiz has been acquitted of all charges. I was like, oh shit! I was like, I you know, it's like I got my life back. I told myself, I promised myself, man, I'm never, you know, I'm gonna do my music shit. Because I was living 2 years in hell, not knowing whether I was gonna get locked up for the rest of my life, or if they were gonna give me 20 years, you know. Because they were gonna say automatically they were gonna give me 20 years, and you know, they were just trying to decide what, you know. And I was 19. I was like, fuck that, man. So I said, fuck that. I went home and I told my mom, I'm gonna call Marcus Barbosa. I'm gonna call Marcus Barbosa, and I wanna, you know, I'm gonna get to work, and I'm gonna try to make my dreams happen, because I thought that my time was limited. You know, how I was living, you know. You know, you let rage blinds you, man. You can't see when you're enraged and you're young and nobody, you know, you think at that age, man, you think you know everything. You don't know shit. Because as what you think you know, man, your life could get like this. You're locked up, you know.
A lot of people don't know that you actually come from a family of musicians. So it's always been in your blood.
Yes, my dad, he sings mariachi and he likes corridos, but he didn't like it that I was singing rap. He didn't. He was like, "You're gonna sing mariachi. You're not gonna sing rap. You're gonna sing mariachi." Man, I don't want to sing that, man. I don't want to. So he used to force me to sing mariachi. No son of mine is gonna be singing that. You know, he used the, you know, quítate you know, I'm gonna say, con tus negradas, you know. Aquí eres mexicano, cabrón. Aquí se toma tequila, you know, aquí pinches jalapeños y frijoles, pero tú no vas a, man, I'm gonna rap. It took me a while to make him understand because he didn't support me. Nobody supported me. Like, you know, nobody was really supporting.
But there's still a lot of that Mexican influence in your music.
When I got older, well, one thing that I did care about, is I was always like looking for knowledge, like about who we were. Because when I was younger, I used to ask. My dad would tell me, Pancho Villa is a hero to our country, Mexico. He won the revolution. And then in school, they would say Pancho Villa was a rapist. He was a, you know, a guy, a terrorist, the first terrorist to attack the United States. So they would try to confuse. They would try to confuse everything, you know, going to school. But my dad, no, they're wrong. Pancho Villa was, you know. So I was always like proud of my culture. My dad would take us to Guadalajara since we were little kids. He would drop us off when we were 7. For 2 months, he would just, you know, leave us with our grandma. So we'd go to Mexico all the time. So we had a lot of cousins telling us, hey man, did you know that Texas? I remember getting into a fist fight with him. And this is what landed me getting my ass whooped with one of my cousins at 8 years old. He goes, hey man, did you know that Texas used to be Mexico? I go, man, you're lying. Man, you're lying. And you know, we come from Oak Cliff with an attitude. And I got in his face. He goes, why are you mad? Because you're lying, man. And he pushed me. We got into a big fight. And at the end, you know, getting older, I found out it was Mexico. But that's not knowing. So they used to tell me a whole bunch of stuff. So being here in Oak Cliff, man, it was always like I don't know why I felt, man, that I had to put in my culture all the time. To hey man, we're here. You know, we're here, man. You're gonna listen to what we have to say. We're listening to what you're saying. Now listen to us, to what we gotta say. Our parents are from Mexico, you know, and we're first generation, and we're learning, but it's always good not to forget your culture and who you are and your parents. I can't, like, my parents are from Mexico, so I have to, you know, of course I'm gonna have a lot of roots planted from Mexico. You know what I'm saying? And so when we used to do, there was a lot of discrimination going on, and that's why too. And going to school, we got, you know, they would treat us fucked up. Half the Mexicans that I knew, they told them that they were dyslexic, and they weren't. You know, I experienced a lot of racism. There was a lot of racism going on at that time. We didn't know how to defend ourselves or what to say, because nobody taught us, you know, how to defend yourself. It would always be physical, you know, getting into fights because we didn't know what to say, you know. And that's what knowledge is important. That if you know the knowledge, you know, then it's like a shield. It's whatever they say is gonna bounce to the other side. You're not gonna. So that's why I would say, hey man, we're here. That's why we did Aztec Tribe. I did Aztec Tribe because I was proud to be Mexican. Because, you know, I was proud. All these labels, Hispanic, who's panic, they panic, Hispanic, who/Hispanic, who panics, they panic. They give you the name, they tell you that they're panicked. You have to figure it out. All these labels is to confuse you, but we're mestizos. We're all from Mexico, San Antonio, Los Angeles. Come on, man. You know, it's like, I say this so many times, man, like if Germany invades Russia and takes over, it's never gonna stop being Russia. It's never stopped being. That's why there's so many of us here. It never stopped being Mexico. That's why they call this Little Mexico, you know. And we're here. You can't kick something out that's from here. It's never gonna happen. And the biggest bullshit that they tell you is go back to your country, motherfucker. What? All right, motherfucker. What if I go back to San Antonio? What if I go to El Paso? So tell me that you put that fucking name there, El Paso. You know, they just okay. There was an example. Of my mom. I took my mom to the dentist a couple of years ago when Trump was in office, and there was this man. He was probably like 75 years old, and he was gonna see my mom. He was a Caucasian guy, and Trump was on there. You know, deport all the Mexicans. They come here. They're rapists and do this and he was on there, and then my mom was sitting down and he was watching SPN. He was watching the news. And he tells me, he looks at me, and of course I'm bald, and he looks at me. I'll change it if it makes you feel uncomfortable. Let me change it. I go, doesn't make me feel uncomfortable. He goes, oh, can I please ask you why? And then I go, because I know the truth. He goes, what is that this was Mexico? He goes, oh, he just, you're right. So that doesn't affect me. Because when you know the truth, it doesn't affect you. It's only when you don't know that you feel like you're being insulted when they're the ones being ignorant because they don't know the history. When you know the history, you know, when you know the history, bro, they can't touch you, bro. You stay focused on what you're doing. You're this, you're that. Yeah, whatever, bro, whatever.
So
you know.
You used to come around Jefferson. Your family owned businesses on these streets.
I used to go to Adamson. I went to Adamson, and I used to walk to my aunt's salons every time that I would get off of school, and I would come in the top 10 here. And I'm gonna tell you something. This probably was the first place where I could find Kid Frost. This is where I came and bought Kid Frost. This is for La Raza. I think it was 89, 90. This is where I found Los Tres Delincuentes. This is where I bought Cypress Hill. Because I remember when This is for La Raza hit, I would go to, I don't know, what was it? Different places like huge, like Kmart back in the day, and I couldn't find those. And this was the place that had them, that had a whole bunch of, Latino rappers or Chicano rappers that I was like, man, I could finally identify myself, you know, because we grew up listening to rap, but it was a whole bunch of, rap was, you know, a lot of black people coming out, but we wanted to know, you know, when somebody like when Kid Frost came or Mellow Manis when he started rapping Mentirosa, that was like, damn, that shit's badass. That we could identify ourselves. We could finally fight back to everything that they're throwing at us. We finally have somebody that I could identify myself with. You know what I'm saying? And then Kid, you know.
And Mike Polk, you said that you used to Mike Polk, who owned the store. He was always welcoming to you.
Man, ever since I was 14 I think I was 14, since my mom used to bring me to the salon this is mi tia Lucy's salon right here, and mi tia Rosa's salon was down the street. And when I would come, Mike would always, hey man, how you doing? I go, what are you looking for? Kid Frost. I have it right here. I go, by the way, do you want a Coke? He had a Coke machine. He had a Coke machine in the corner, and he used to open it up, and he used to always give me a Coke. And through the years, it was funny, man. This could be a movie, because through the years, he saw me get older. He met me when I had hair. He met me when I had hair, and as I got older and older, I would come in here. And then when I started rapping, he's the first one to tell me, bring your music here, leave it here. And he's the first that started selling my music here. And he was just he's a good dude. He's a good guy that I feel like he did a lot for the raza when there was nothing for the raza at that time. You know what I'm saying? He gave us that, hey man, you know, this is, you know, I know you can't find it over there, what you're looking for, but you're finding it here. And you know, we're not in Los Angeles where they have Chicano studies, or you can go somewhere, or they actually have, like, I've gone to LA and East LA, and they actually, you know, have like classes like in a little plaza, and they teach you the Aztec calendar. We had nothing like that. We only had what got to our hands. You know, if I guess you know, it was like somebody saying, hey man, you know, this is something that's lacking, and I know you're gonna like it. I know this is what you're looking for, you know, and they're giving it to you. Because nobody was guiding you, man. Being that nobody was just what your parents told you. You know, I remember going to school, being 9 years old, and I had to walk. Like maybe like half a mile to school. And my mom used to say, you know, I'm gonna put my hands up, and you throw a couple of punches. You know, throw some punches, and I used to hit my mom like that, because she knew that. From there to there, we're gonna get into a fight, because where we grew up, it was crazy. So we had to, you know, we only knew that. But if they would have taught us, you know, a little bit more knowledge of where we come from, and you know, there's about you know, Mexican heroes, bro. Everybody's looking for a Mexican hero, bro, to be like, look man, look at this guy. And now being older, you know, some of the Mexicans started the skateboarding. Some of there's one called The Perfect Game where there was in 1957 they made a movie about it. A little kid from Monterrey beat Little League, beat everybody. That makes me, you know, it makes me happy. There's a lot of the other one thing's called the Lords of Dogtown. I think it was Alva. Was it? I don't know if it's Tony Alva. And there's a lot of people out there, man, but they never promoted that. Because I feel like they never wanted to give us that power. They're like, they're there, but you have to look for them. It's not like they were like the other people. Like you put them together, and I feel like we're all one, and we, you know, united. We do a lot more damage than being divided.